the Business and IT Department. Ms. Ingrid Applewhite, Instructional Leader of the English Department. Mrs. Tiffany Smith-Rochelle, Instructional Leader, and the Foreign Language Department. Mrs. Judith Yoakum, and the Learning Support Department. Mr. Troy King, Instructional Team Leader of the Mathematics Department. Ms. Rhonda Rollins, Instructional Team Leader of Physical Education and Health Department. Ms. Latoya Holstead and the Science Department. Mrs. Michelle Morris and the Social Studies Department. Ms. Morris, that was supposed to be on that side, all the way up to the top. Mr. Brenton Burgess, head of the Student Services Department. Ms. Keisha Allen Smith, Director of Staff Development. Mr. Trevor Haynes, Instructional Leader of Art, the Art Department and Technical Studies. Ms. Juanita Telford, Examinations Coordinator. Ms. Carmen Jones, the head of the Library Services. Mr. Steve Lawrence, Director of Technology Assisted Instruction. Ms. Takesha Simmons, S1 Yearhead. Ms. Michelle Camara, S2 Yearhead. Mr. Oladapo Frederick, S3 Yearhead. Ms. Leslie Wharton, S4 Yearhead. We welcome the administrative team, Mr. Quincy Painter, S1 Deputy Principal. Mrs. Tiane Simons, S2 Deputy Principal. Ms. Keisha Douglas, the Principal of the Berkeley Institute and Administrator for the S3 year level. The Deputy Chair of the Berkeley Institute, Ms. Nachika Trott. And our guest speaker this evening, the Honorable Mark Bean, JP. Please join me in saluting the prize winners for the 2018-2019 academic year. much. Please be seated. Honored guests, the Honorable Diallo Rabane, JP, MP, Minister of Education, the Honorable Levita Fogo, JP, MP, Minister of Labor, Community, and Sport, Mr. Chris Famous, JP, MP, Senator Anthony Richards, Mr. Steve Smith, and all members of the Berkeley Educational Society, Ms. Nachika Trott, and all members of the Berkeley Board of Governors, Dr. Randall Tankard, Ministry of Education, Ms. Keisha Douglas, Principal of the Berkeley Institute and her administrative team, Mrs. Kimberly Jackson, PTSA President and PTSA Executive Members, Mr. Calvin White, former Berkeley Board of Governor Chairman, and Lieutenant Colonel Edward Lamb, former Berkeley Board of Governors Deputy Chairman. The Honorable Mark Bean, JP, our guest speaker for the evening. Today is an opportunity to celebrate the individual successes of our students, the recognition of consistent and sustained effort, and for outstanding academic achievement. Specifically, we will highlight quarter 4 grades from the 2018-2019 academic year. We will celebrate the top 10 students in each year group. We will recognize outstanding performance in individual subject areas, present special awards and prizes, and acknowledge the 2019-2020 school leadership or student leadership. To the prize winners, whatever your prize is today, be assured that your school, your teachers, and your parents are very proud of you. Well done to each and every one of you. We will begin the ceremony this afternoon with a welcome from Leilani Trott.
Protocol having been established, good afternoon and a special welcome to parents, families, guests, and to all of our students who have gathered here today to celebrate the academic accomplishments of outstanding young talent. On behalf of the Berkeley Institute, I would like to welcome you to the 2019 annual prize-giving ceremony. Today, I feel very privileged and honored to stand here in front of you to honor the achievements of our brilliant students who have made both this school and their parents proud. To those of you who will be acknowledged today, I say, well done. It's not a coincidence that you were chosen. It is because of your hard work and to maintain academic excellence and your sustained effort and focus. The Berkeley Institute has always provided its students with a tradition of excellence to help them grow in every sphere of activity, be it leadership, academics, sports, or extracurricular activities. Berkeley is clearly focused on preparing students to lead full, purposeful lives and to assume leadership roles both locally and globally. So, without further ado, please sit back, relax, and truly enjoy this evening's auspicious occasion. We will now invite Callan Richardson to do the opening prayer.
Good evening. Please stand for prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for giving us the ability to strive for excellence and do well in our educational careers. Lord, we thank you for all the resources you have provided, especially our parents and teachers and any other help that we may have received to succeed and be recognized today. Father, I pray that you will continue to assist us to strive for excellence throughout the rest of our lives, and that you will continue to bless our families and our school. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Keep the end in view. We will have a musical selection by our choir, directed by Mr. John Woolridge, after we sing Lift Every Voice and Sing, found on page 4 of your program. May you please stand.
Thank you. Please be seated. We will now have musical selections by the Berkeley Institute Choir.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right.
As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. See the kids in the street without enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man song. They follow each other on the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make the change. Na 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 na. I've been a victim of a kind of selfish love. It's time that I realize there are some alone and not a nickel to loan. Could it be really me pretending that they're not alone? Well, we're deeply scarred, somebody's broken heart in a washed out dream. They follow the pattern of the wind you see. No place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make the change. You gotta get it right. No, you got the time, because you close your heart and then you close your mind. With the man in the mirror, I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. Na 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 na.
Oh yeah.
Na 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 na. For once in my
Life.
been talking about it. We won't just stay here in silence. Can't stop the fire from rising, rising. Whoa.
People, don't you be afraid. So many innocents slain. This is an era for change, change.
And Malcolm's probably turning in his grave.
Every shade was beautifully made
And powerful. It's so much strength in you and me. Powerful. A breath away from victory. I matter, you matter, we matter. I matter, you matter, we matter. I see a colorful future where skin don't define any human, and stars are the only ones shooting, shooting. Whoa.
Mothers who bury their child, how can we sit here and hide? Change comes, we'll all take a stand. Stand up, stand up. Uttering speech to echoes in my brain.
Every shade was beautifully made and powerful. It's so much strength in you and me. Powerful. A breath away from victory. I matter, you matter, we matter. I matter, you matter, we matter. Powerful. Powerful. It's so much strength in you and me.
Powerful, a breath away from victory. I matter, you matter, we matter. I matter, you matter, we matter.
Wonderful. Protocol has been established. Good afternoon, prize winners of 2018-19, parents, staff, members of the Berkeley Board of Governors and the Berkeley Educational Society, ministers and government officials, colleagues from the Ministry of Education, family, friends, corporate partners, and supporters. It is so wonderful that you are here this afternoon to help us celebrate the successes of our students and our school as we celebrate 122 years of existence. I hope you will feel inspired by the achievements of all of our students, the commitment by their teachers, and enjoy the special ambiance that this afternoon brings. I am overwhelmed this evening as I continue with my speech, the reason why we're here is for young people. And yes, it starts with you and the man in the mirror, and you are powerful. The prize winners this afternoon are a true representation of everything we stand for here at the Berkeley Institute. These hard-working, diligent scholars are an inspiration to all of us. It is through such achievements that we clearly are able to see that skill, high expectation, and commitment of our staff is here on display this afternoon. Our students are committed to excellence of scholarship, excellence of leadership, excellence of citizenship, and excellence of character. Our prize winners are great examples of what we desire to see in all students. Our theme this year is academic excellence, the journey to a brighter future. Students, the road sometimes may not have been easy, but you soldiered on, and that is why we are here to celebrate you today. As quoted by John Maxwell, successful and unsuccessful people do not vary greatly in their abilities. They vary in their desire to reach their full potential. Students, thank you for simply having the desire to persevere, the desire to succeed, and the desire to reach your full potential. Today, I'm delighted to share with you the remarkable successes of our school over the 2018-2019 academic year. With this said, we had 164 students who wrote one or more IGCSE examinations. 82 students wrote one or more GCSE examinations. 62 students received at least one grade between A* and C. 46 students received one grade between 4 and 9, which is the new grading system for several subjects, with 9 being the highest. 5 students received AP grades 3 to 5, with 5 being the highest. 3 students graduated with associate degrees from Bermuda College, while students of the Berkeley Institute. 10 students graduated with applied technology certificates from Bermuda College, while also students of the Berkeley Institute. And 1 student graduated for the first time ever in the diploma in hospitality, with a diploma in hospitality. 4 of our students graduated with their nursing assistant certificates. 3 of our students were awarded the Rotary Exchange placements out of 4 spots. Amir Wade secured the prestigious scholarship with United World and is in Swaziland. Tylesia De Silva, our former head girl, is traveling with Up With People. And our graduates collected nearly $300,000 in scholarship monies to offset university expense. From our departments, English, Amir Wade, Amelia Stowe, and Aaliyah Lee won first, second, and third prize in the Bermuda Police Force International Women's Day essay competition. Tahiri Bascom, Quincy Can, and Maya Saunders won the top 3 places in the Mental Health Awareness Poetry competition. And Sion Tatum, our former head boy, placed second in the Rotary Club's Christmas essay competition. When Berkeleyites enter, we win. Mathematics. The second year of the City and Guilds program yielded success for the department. The number of students writing the exam increased from 12 to 18, a 50% increase in candidates. Students took both stage 2 and 3 exams and earned 4 distinctions, 7 merits, 3 passes. Mr. Buckles in the math department attended the NCTM, which stands for National Council of Teachers of Mathematics, conference in San Diego on April 2nd to April 6, 2019. The math department has been enriched from all the resources and experiences he has shared and is committed to having representation next year. Science. We have seen continued growth and improvement for the IGCSE sciences, i.e. improved numbers of A-star through C grades in coordinated science especially, and all but one student has met their requirement for graduation. Students Michael Richardson and Andreas Glasgow participated in Ocean Plastics Leadership Summit, which was a specific program to engage CEOs and other executives of large corporations who manufacture plastic consumer products, our leaders in the local and global community. Social studies. Social studies teachers attended a series of lectures at Bermuda College on Bermuda history presented by Dr. Clarence Maxwell, and also participated in training with CURB to become facilitators. Bermuda Studies students Robert Thomas and Christopher Jackson participated in the Bermuda Principal Debate hosted by Dr. Kariko Weldon. Business and technology. We have continued to diversify the computer science program to embrace learning support students and their success in this program. As well, we have students in our personal finance program who shared lessons on budgeting with their parents and raised awareness on saving, investing towards midterm and long-term goals. Additionally, our Virtual Enterprise International program, short for VEI is short for that, is growing continually. We had students who competed in a global business plan competition, and Bermuda, the Berkeley Institute, our students placed in the top 35 from over 400 schools. The students were successful in making sales of over $640,000 virtual dollars. Students. Student services. 2018-2019 senior seminar. Student services tried a new format for the senior seminar last year. The seminar was held over 2 days during the capstone period, known to some of you as advisory, on Tuesday and Thursdays. Students were hosted at various establishments in the local business community for workshops on interviewing, dressing for success, etc. The business community were very impressed with our students and have expressed a desire to repeat the process for this year. Additionally, student services ensured that the Reverse Student Employment Career Fair was a success. It was held here in our cafetorium, and after weeks of preparation, our students provided resumes and displays to showcase themselves and their skills for prospective employers. And some of our students actually landed jobs because of that event. Professional development. Last school year, we had teachers trained in SCARS, trauma and its impact on schools, strategies for motivating the reluctant learner. We also had our teachers facilitate workshops, and all of our teachers met the requirement for the Bermuda Educators Council for relicensing. Foreign language. GCSE results were impressive last year. There were 12 entries of GCSE French and 83% passed. There were 38 entries for GCSE Spanish and 84% passed. Congratulations to Senora Stowe, Madame Smith-Rochelle, Senorita Grant, and Madame Hanam for working extra hard to prepare the students for these external exams. Additionally, we celebrate our top foreign language students who scored 7 or 8 on the higher tier GCSE French or GCSE Spanish exams in June, with the highest being 9. Sarah Costa, Daria Simons, Mariana Amaral, and Seth Hartman received 7s, and Alicia Sheed and Carla De Leon received 8s. PE and Health. The Berkeley Institute continues to dominate in many sporting arenas, which include winning or coming in the top 3 in cross country, netball, league and knockout champions, football champs, basketball league champs, and runners-up in the knockout tournament. First place in all of our boys cross country teams, second place in the high school duathlon. 4 of our runners in the Front Street Mile found a spot in the top 10, Kazai Seeley placing first overall, as well as student Isaiah Tucker landing a place in the top 20 out of 270 international 10K runners. And 3 of those students also participated in Carifta Games. 2019 International Sports, Berkeley won 9 gold medals, 23 silver, and 15 bronze medals. However, we were edged out and placed second overall, as well as we have captured numerous MVPs in various all-star matches. This year, we also had members participate in the International Triathlon for the school, as well as we have a new girls Super 8 cricket tournament where we placed second overall. Of course, the highlight from the PE department is the fact that in 2018-19, the wonderful greenhouse were victorious, defeating Gold House by a score of 1,054 to 885. Greenhouse. We are proud to say that after a visit, this is still the PE and Health Department, we are proud to say that after a visit by at least 3 prep schools, coaches, we were able to see our students at their finest on the field, and those coaches met with some 84 parents. We have 4 young men, who are now attending these schools after they graduated in 2019. This venture is continuing this school year to give other students an opportunity, and we want to say special thanks to PE teacher Mr. Boyles, who spearheaded this initiative with some help on the other side from former teacher Mr. Richard North. Technical studies and the arts. 20 out of 24 students, or 84%, passed the external certification NCCER core curriculum. Technical studies and the arts were involved in many community projects, such as building an entertainment cabinet for the reading clinic, catering for the annual seniors luncheon, which was under the direction of the governor, the painting of a butterfly mural on Engle Street, student steel pan performance for the Bermuda Library, seniors Valentine's Day lunch, and our students entered over 200 exhibits in the annual exhibition, and many of our entries won the top prizes. Learning support. The UK Vocational College Tour in March 2019 was very successful. The students had interviews pre-arranged with colleges, and while they were in the UK, 2 students were accepted on the spot and actually gained entrance into the college of their choice. That's our learning support students, yes. And in particular, S4 student Keziah Bean Forston was awarded the Minister of Education's Minister's Exceptional Student Award, a scholarship that will last her 4 years. She is at $35,000 a year. This student is studying health and social care at Manchester City College in the UK. I just heard from her grandparents, and she is doing phenomenal. So it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So we're excited. There is so much more to share across our departments. However, as we pause here, let's give our school a hearty round of applause for its accomplishments. At this time, I would like to share some of our prize-giving data with you. We have a total of 148 prize winners this afternoon. 30 S1 students who are now in S2, 40 S2 students, and 78 S3 students who will be receiving academic awards, subject prizes, leadership and community service awards, as well as awards for citizenship and character. It goes without saying that we are delighted to report that most of our students being honored today have consistently been a part of our prize-giving celebrations in the past, and their commitment and dedication to their studies has not gone unnoticed. A special congratulations, however, to all students who are experiencing this afternoon for the very first time. Isn't it so special? Kudos. Indeed, this will be one of the most special highlights of your Berkeley journey. In particular, let's highlight our principal honor students, whose overall grades after 4 quarters, they have received 90% and above with no failures. Students, along with your parents, please stand as you hear your names. S1, Kellen Richardson and Leilani Trott. S2 student, standing alone, Daria Simons. And S3 students, the first 2 names that I call, these students not only are the first and second students at the Berkeley Institute, but they also received President's List at the Bermuda College. So they are top students at the Bermuda College. So, S3, Jaden Furbett Jacobs, Samaria Painter, and President's List at the college is a big deal. And also on principal honors in S3, we have Anaje Kisiming. Zanae Wade. Rachel Webster. Destiny Warner. And Janelle Simmons. Students, our cafetorium is filled today with people who have supported your efforts throughout your educational journey here at Berkeley. Parents, family members, friends, and supporters, we could not do this without you. We thank you for all you have done to work with us to ensure that our students have the necessary support and guidance to remain committed to their studies and committed to excellence. Faculty and staff, you deserve our utmost thanks and praise for all you have done to prepare and motivate our students to reach their full potential. Each and every one of you go above and beyond for our young people on a daily basis, including mornings, lunchtimes, late evenings, weekends, and even holidays. A teacher plants the seeds of knowledge, sprinkles them with love, and patiently nurtures their growth to produce tomorrow's dreams. Teachers, once again, thank you. Let's take this moment to give our teachers a round of applause. Teachers, continue to do what you do for our young people. Students, I leave you with these words as you continue to strive for excellence. And these are words of William Arthur Ward. Continue to study while others are sleeping. Work while others are loafing. Prepare while others are playing, and dream while others are risking. Berkeleyites, press on. Be the Berkeleyites you were meant to be. We are so proud of you, and the world awaits you. Ladies and gentlemen, students, parents, and guests, join me in applauding our 2018-2019 prize winners of the Berkeley Institute. Respectfully, thank you and enjoy the rest of the program. At this time, I will call Deputy Chair, Ms. Trott, who will give a few remarks.
Good evening. To the Honorable Levita Fogo, Minister of Labor, Community Affairs, and Sports, Senator Anthony Richardson, our Principal Keisha Douglas, Mr. Mark Bean, Class of 1991, our guest speaker, Dr. Randall Tankard, Board of Governors members, the Berkeley Educational Society, the PTSA President, Mrs. Jackson, teachers, staff of the Berkeley Institute, parents, family, and our prize-giving students who will be honored this evening, welcome to the Berkeley Institute. Prize giving is one of the most important events in our school's calendar. We are here today to celebrate the achievements of students of the Berkeley Institute who have attained special recognition for their academic achievements. To the support members of our students, parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, siblings, teachers, counselors, and ETs who stand by these students, encouraging and cheering them on to assist them in reaching their academic milestone today, this is a celebration for you as well. Students, I ask you to stand and give a round of applause to your cheerleaders. Please stand. The Berkeley Board of Governors continues to operate actively actively and engage in policies to meet the demands of our stakeholders. The board has continued to support and fund the school in providing a wide range of academic programming to meet the needs of our student population with programs such as the Berkeley Accelerated Summer Institute, now in its second year, the dual enrollment program at the Bermuda College, the Virtual Enterprise International, the enhanced programming and certificates for learning support students, and regular meetings with the ITLs to understand their needs and encouragement for them to set out any financial needs. We are also focused on the wellness of our students, taking proactive steps in this area by having staff participate in assist training. It is encouraging to know that our programs and activities support the growth of our reputation as a real-world leading community and balance the learning experience with a wide range of co-curricular opportunities in sports and the arts as well. The academic achievements of our students speak to our core value of program excellence. We, the board, appreciate and acknowledge the work of all employees, especially teachers of the school, in their effort to help each student reach their full academic achievements. The Berkeley Institute is engaging in the re-accreditation process with the Middle States Association Commission on Elementary and Secondary Schools. This process is to ensure we continue to offer a well-rounded, academically enriched education whereby each student is known personally by teachers, counselors, and other staff who prepare our students for life beyond the doors of the Berkeley Institute. Our students can be recognized for being successfully selected for scholarships, both locally and internationally, as well as being accepted in some of the top colleges and universities around the globe. We are incredibly proud of the success of our students. I know that Mrs. Douglas, the administrative staff, are very proud of how our students have grown in understanding and are learning to become more competent and confident citizens of not only Bermuda, but the global society. We, the board, remain committed to the leadership and the enrichment of education for the benefit of the community. We are very proud of student achievements across the school, greatly supported by committed, dedicated staff and teachers who achieve so much. You are all truly amazing in your contributions to the rich history and legacy of the Berkeley Institute. We would especially like to recognize and acknowledge and thank Mrs. Carol Burrows for her 43 years of service to the Berkeley Institute. On behalf of the board chair, Mr. Craig Bridgewater, and members of the Berkeley Board of Governors, we wish you continued success in your academic achievements and encourage you to keep your standards and ambitions high. Respecate for them. Keep the end in view.
We will now invite Jaden Ferber-Jacobs to the stand so that he can make his remarks as a Principal's Honors student.
With protocol having been established, good evening, everyone. People often ask me how I achieve balance being an active participant in so many activities. How do I train every day while attending both the college and Berkeley? Also, I work at a reinsurance company, but I ensure that I have time to study and maintain my grades while making time for my friends. I am also an active participant in the coastal cleanup campaign with my boy Michael Richardson. I'm a student youth leader at my church, but find time for myself at the end of all of this. How do I balance my life? Truthfully, is there really such a thing called balance in our lives? Take a moment and think about it. Is your life equally balanced in all areas? Do you give the same amount of time in everything that you do? I'm not sure what your responses are, but I can honestly tell you that I don't, and that there is no mathematical or scientific equation to a perfectly balanced life. However, one thing I do know for sure is to trust in God, because He is the one balancing out my life, and He knows how much I can handle. See, that is the thing about God. He will never give you something or put something in your life that you can't manage. Of course, in the beginning, it might be hard. It may feel like you can't do it, but He knows what you are capable of, even when you think you are not. Some of you parents might think this is funny, but in all seriousness, being a teenager is hard and sometimes stressful, with so many responsibilities and activities to manage. However, it is only going to get harder from here as we get older and become adults with even more obligations and responsibilities to tend to. We must be ready for this. Students, remember driving in the car with your mom or dad, or even walking through town with one of them, and they happen to notice someone from their childhood? Suddenly, they begin talking about how that person was talented or smart, and that they had great potential to be a very successful person. However, they got caught up with the wrong things or people, and something occurred in their life. After hearing repetitive stories like this, I began to feel scared. Scared that I wouldn't be successful in life. Scared that I would get caught up in the wrong things and watch my potential go to waste. Scared that I wouldn't be the best version of myself and live my dreams. I can say for many of us that this is a major fear of ours. A fear that our dreams will not become a reality. A fear of failure. The thing about being afraid to fail is that it can either hold you back or push you forward. When I was younger, I constantly allowed my fear to control me, so much so that it prevented me from doing what I desired, from reaching my full potential. Later on, I came to realize that we will all fail at some point in our lives. Everyone faces setbacks, but it is what you do after these setbacks that define who you are. You have two options. Option number one, you can either let this setback defeat you and give up on everything, or number two, you can learn from this and see it as an opportunity to grow, become better, and come back 10 times stronger. You will have disappointments in your life, but even when you face these disappointments, it is important that you know within yourself that you can do anything you put your mind to. Even when no one sees it for you, you must see it for yourself. Many of us want to live our dreams. Who doesn't? However, in order to do this, it is necessary that you remove the negative influences out of your life. See, when you start becoming the right person, you begin to separate yourself from other people and focus on you. You don't let people's opinions of you become your reality. Instead, you invest in yourself and your mind. A few years back, I had a mentor that shared a quote with me. It read, "As long as you are following other people, as long as you are being a copycat, you will never, ever be the best copycat in the world, but you will be the best you can be. I'm challenging you to define your value." Since then, I have kept this quote with me, as it is a reminder of the day when I realized that I will not get anywhere in life trying to live someone else's dream. I understood that we all have our own paths and that it was time for me to start following mine. Today, I have the privilege and honor to stand before you, wanting to represent an idea, wanting to represent possibilities, and motivate those people who have not found their path in life. Everyone wants to have a purpose in life, a life that matters, a life that will impact the world, and each one of you can. You can make your parents proud, you can make your school proud, you can touch millions of lives, and the world will never, ever be the same again, because you are a Berkeleyite, and you can live your dream. Respecte for now. Thank you. Let us welcome Darius Simons to the podium to introduce our guest speaker. Simmons, right? Oh, Simmons?
Ladies and gentlemen, with protocol having already been established, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the guest speaker for this, our prize-giving ceremony. This illustrious Berkeleyite and proud and prominent member of Greenhouse was born in Paget, Bermuda. He attended Southampton Glebe Primary School before he entered the hallowed halls of the Berkeley Institute. He later pursued graduate studies at Delaware State University, Bailbrook College, and Flight School in Atlanta, Georgia, which qualifies him an air traffic control specialist. Currently, he is studying for his Chartered Management Accountancy designation. He's a businessman, entrepreneur, and former political leader. He was elected to the House of Assembly December 2010 as an MP for Warwick South Central constituency. He was appointed to the cabinet of the then Premier, Honorable Paula Cox, as the Minister of Environment, Planning, Infrastructure Strategy in November 2011. In December 2012, our special guest was elected as the party leader of the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party and retired from politics in November 2016, having rebuilt the party and laid the foundation for the historic election victory in July 2017. In addition, he has worked in the Department of Marine and Ports and as the Recruitment and Enrollment Manager for the Mayor's Program. He has also served as the government's advisor on CARICOM affairs within the Office of the Premier. Currently, our keynote speaker is CEO of Axum Limited, a licensed bookmaker, the chairman of Solidus Limited, a Bermuda-based financial technology company specializing in payments, a director of the law firm Smith, Bean & Company, and SBC Corporate Services Limited, which is a licensed Bermuda corporate service provider. Ladies and gentlemen, this phenomenal individual has contributed so much to our community. He has served on the Bermuda Independence Commission, the Telecommunications Commission, the Public Transportation Board, the Public Vehicle Service Licensing Board, the Air Transport Licensing Board, and as the Deputy Chairman of the West End Development Company. He is a member of various fraternal organizations. His work has received public recognition when, in 2006, he received the Queen's Certificate and Badge of Honor. He is married to a barrister and attorney, Simone Smith Bean, and is also the proud father of 3 daughters, 1 son, and grandfather to 1 granddaughter. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together and welcome to the podium our guest speaker, the Honorable Mark Bean, JP.
Protocol having already been established, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my warm gratitude to the Berkeley Institute for having me come and participate in this very auspicious occasion. First and foremost, greetings and salutation. Good afternoon, everyone. When given this opportunity, I must say I'm grateful because this is the second time that I've spoken publicly after I left politics. The first time I was invited by the Berkeley Institute and Mr. Frederick, giving me the opportunity to speak to some of you students on a message that I'm going to seek to repeat today, because I think that the same message is relevant as it was yesterday. It will be relevant today and tomorrow. First and foremost, I have to say to Mr. Jacobs Matthews. Well, I asked him, who's your peoples? And he says, well, Heather Jacobs Matthews is my granny. It makes perfect sense, though, if you know who Heather Jacobs Matthews is. You can see why This young man is a powerhouse. Yeah, man. I did not prepare a speech, but I did prepare some notes. So if I do lose my train of thought, I'll be able to revert back to those notes. The theme of this prize giving is academic excellence, the journey to a brighter future. And as I meditated on that theme, I said, well, that's good because it segues right into the message that I already want to repeat. It's a message that this young man spoke about. It's a message that I think that if as students you can grasp, you will have the seat to all human power. You will have within your fingertips the ability to be the masters of your own destiny. And because this is the Berkeley Institute, and because I'm a Berkeleyite, please indulge me while I reason with these young people. Know that the same message that I'm giving to them applies to you as adults. The message does not change. Frankly, the fact that you all are here is testimony to the self-discipline and hard work academically that brought you and has brought you success now and will bring you more success in the future. But the theme says academic excellence, the journey to a brighter future. That means that this is just the start. Academic excellence is not the be-all, end-all. In fact, how many of you can think of a person who is very bright, knows it all, but yet their soul seems to be cold? You know, we have enough bright people in this country. There are a lot of bright people who taught myself and your teachers at the Berkeley and other schools. There's no shortage of people who excel academically. You would think that with so much academic excellence that the world would be a much better place than the way it is today. But when you think about it, when you meditate on it, when it comes to your family life, your community life, the life of this country, and even the world is not a better place. It begs the question, if the world is being controlled and run by persons with high academic excellence, but yet there's so much strife, then what is the value of academic excellence? If the people are in pain, what that tells me is that you can have high grades and be the most highly miseducated person in the country. Because if you have knowledge and it cannot uplift yourself, your family, your community, and your country, then you are not truly educated. You have just stuffed bits and pieces of information in your mind that allows you to pass an exam. After that, you have no use to yourself or others. But I don't believe that that is the case with you young people today. Listening to Mr. Fairby Jacobs, I'm certain that that is not the case with our young people today. So what is it that we are missing? What is it that we adults are missing? Whereas we are bright, and it seems like we have so much knowledge in our minds, but yet there's so much dysfunction in our midst. What can be done in the future so as to avoid the pitfalls of today? Allow me to give you a quote. And this quote speaks to what not academic excellence is, but what true education is. And this quote is by the former emperor and king of kings of Ethiopia, Etzi Haile Selassie I, where he says, education develops the intellect, and intellect distinguishes man from other creatures. It is education that enables man to harness nature and utilize her resources for the well-being and improvement of his or her life. The key for a betterment and completeness of modern living is education. But man cannot live by bread alone. Man, after all, is also composed of intellect and soul. Therefore, education in general and education and higher education, in particular, must aim to provide beyond the physical. It must provide food for the intellect and our soul. That education which ignores man's intrinsic nature or inner nature and neglects his intellect and reasoning power cannot be considered true education. So that should indicate to all of us that the truly educated person is not just an academically bright person. The truly educated person, is a person that is spiritually inclined. Spiritually inclined. How can I break this down as simply as possible? I gave this analogy the last time I was here, and so please allow me to give the analogy again. If you're on your bike and you're coming from Somerset and you're coming to Berkeley and you are late, or in your car, or your mother is in a car, and you are late, and you're coming from Somerset and you know in your mind that the fastest route to town is going Middle Road. But something tells you to don't go Middle Road, go over the hill to South Shore. But then you say, common sense, it's faster to go Middle Road. I'm going to ignore that something in my mind that said go South Shore, and I'm going to go to the direction that logically makes sense to me. I'm going to Middle Road. And once I get down to Rising Sun Stretch, I hear a police bike. And that police bike is radar, and it comes up to you, and you know what happens. You got caught speeding. And the first thing you're going to say is, shucks, something tell me not to go Middle Road. Something tell me go over the hill. I'm sure all of you, we adults can relate to what I'm saying. Something tell me not to go over the hill. To go Middle Road. The question that I ask you today is twofold. What is that something? And who is that something? What is that something is what some people call their conscience. We all know what it feels like to suffer from a guilty conscience, don't we? You really can't sleep. You will never have peace until you square yourself with your conscience. The question is, the second part of the question is, now that you know what it is, who is it? I will posit to you today that that voice that tells you to go over the hill, outside of being your conscience, that is also the voice of your Creator. Don't ever forget that. And so here is the big battle. Here is the challenge that you're going to face as young people. Wherever you go in life, you're going to be presented with a choice. You must realize that as human beings, we are endowed with a reasoning mind. So you have two voices within. You have a voice that tells you to do what you like. And then we have another voice that tells you to do what's right. You can't hear both voices simultaneously. You can only hear one voice at a time, and guess what? the voice that tells you to do what you like, is the loudest, most vociferous voice. That's the voice that screams, go that way, do it, don't worry about it. Take the risk, it will be okay. Taste it, feel it, smell it. Whatever it may be, that's the voice that's showing you to go ahead and jump off the cliff. But then you have this other voice, this more still, small voice within you that doesn't tell you to do what you like, it tells you to do what's right. The job of all human beings, the task of all human beings, young and old, is to know the difference between those two voices. And when you recognize the voice of the soul, the still small voice within that tells you to do what's right, you obey that voice unconditionally. Even if your parents or your friends tell you to do contrary, and that voice tells you to do what's right, always, always, without apology, always follow that still voice within. Always. And what happens when you learn to trust that still inner voice? You start to get to know yourself. You start to commune with your Creator. You become obedient to that voice because that voice will never lead you astray. That choice will give you the power to be the most effectual leaders in whatever field or vocation that your academic training encourages you to enter within. That choice of doing what's right instead of doing what you like is the choice that will show you that you are an instrument in the hands of God. That is a true leader. Whatever you may do, whatever you put your hands to, you're guaranteed success. It's guaranteed because you know that you're being obedient to the person who created you. And you are following their will. Let me wind up by saying this. In the next 10 to 20 years, as you leave Berkeley Institute, there's going to be an opportunity for you to step up and lead. Even now, you are called to lead as prefects in various capacities in school. But in the next 10 to 20 years, the burden of leadership in this country is going to fall on your shoulders. We are depending on you to get it right. We are depending on you to not mimic us as adults. We expect you to raise the standards in this country. Do not take it as what you see within us, that is the standard. That is not the standard. You are children, and we expect you to surpass our deeds. We expect you to be much better than us. You see, the truly educated person is a person that has a clear mind. Their thinking is elevated towards righteousness' sake. Towards righteousness' sake. And you know, if you choose to follow that still small voice, which is the source, the only source of power in life, then you will be able to bring or manifest the second verse of our school song that says, we are the men of the years to come. We are the women of the future. What will become of our island home without our nurture? For we have the brain and the brawn and the blood of those who have handed us the torch of life. And we pray that we aspire, emulate our worthy sires and to be heroes in the strife. That's not just a song. That's meant to be sung, to be meditated, and to be practiced and to put into real life. I'll tell you this. If you're able to rise to that level, then all that's required at that point by taking this academic excellence to another level is to think 3 terms. Think right, speak the truth, and do good. Remember that conscience that's within you exists within all your friends too. And it exists within all your fellow human beings. In fact, that's the only thing in life that you can say is equal. Because in this physical realm, there's nothing equal in this physical realm. The person sitting beside you is not equal to you in this physical realm. Even identical twins don't have the same fingerprints. So in the physical realm, life is about competition. What you put in is what you get out. You reap what you sow. But always remember that there's a higher calling. Remember that the spirit that dwells within you is the same spirit that dwells within your fellow man. So always think right, speak the truth, and do good. And then your academic excellence will bear fruit in the future. Thank you very much.
Good evening all. My name is Destiny Warner. Mr. Bean, on behalf of the faculty and students at the Berkeley Institute, I deem it a pleasure to express gratitude for the awe-inspiring and thought-provoking speech that you delivered to us this evening. Sir, in your speech, you encouraged us to have within our fingertips our own destiny, self-discipline, hard work, allow our knowledge to uplift others, know the difference between the voice within us, always follow that still voice within us. Understand that choice will give us the power in whichever path we choose to enter on. And to simply follow God's will. And last but not least, you encouraged us to think right, speak the truth, and to do good. We sincerely promise that we will continue to use these words of wisdom to maintain our academic excellence, which is part of our journey to a brighter future. Kindly accept this gift as a token of our appreciation. You're welcome. We will now have the distribution of prizes and awards.
Good evening. And now for the real reason we are here this evening. S1 prize recipients, please stand. Gannett Bean receives the subject prize for English as a Second Language 1. Najai Bean receives the subject prize for Chemistry 2. Nasia Burgess receives the subject prize for Biology 2, Coordinated Science 1, Health and Wellness, and is an high honor student. Nasia. Zandamani receives the subject prize for Reading Connections 2. Maya Dean is a high honor student and receives the subject prize for Chemistry 1. Parents, would you stand when your son or daughter receives a prize? Abigail Frost receives the subject prize for French 1, GCSE. Jamie Furtado is a high honor student. Zayante Gibbons Outerbridge receives the subject prize for the BASD, Bermuda Social Studies 1, and Reading Connections 1. Keo Lightbourne receives the subject prize for BASD, Mathematics 1. Ruth Mallow-Can is a high honor student who receives a subject prize for three-dimensional visual art and visual art in society. Sade Neasley is the Student Council S1 representative. Alroide Rattery receives a subject prize for French 1. Callan Richardson is a Principal's Honor student and receives subject prizes for Coordinated Science 1, History 1, 20th Century, and Information and Communications Technology 1. Samaya Soltis receives a subject prize for String Ensemble 1. Kazai Seeley receives a subject prize for English 3 and Physical Education 1. Alicia Sheed receives subject prizes for Combined Science 1, Computer Science 2, Spanish 1, GCSE. Callan Simmons receives the subject prize for City and Guilds English Stage 1. Soleil Simons receives the subject prize for Choir 1. A.J. Smith is a Student Council S2 representative and receives subject prizes for GCSE Geography 1, Elijah Sumner receives subject prize for Physics 1. Satasia Swan receives the subject prize for Music in Society. Ashandre Tolbert receives the subject prize for English 1. Jazari Tolbert is a high honor student, the Student Council S2 representative, and receives subject prizes for Business and Economics 1 and Physical Education 1. Kayla Taylor is a Student Council S1 representative. Lilani Trott is a Principal's Honor student, a Student Council S2 representative, and she receives the subject prizes for Concert Band 1, Mathematics 1, and Spanish 1. Cameron Tyrrell is a high honor student. Mae Wade Smith receives the subject prizes for BASD English 1, BASD Physical Social Health Education 1, and BASD Science 1. Talia Williams is the Student Council S1 representative. Let's give a final round of applause for the S1 prize recipients. S2 prize recipients, please stand. Alla Baldonado receives a subject prize for draw, paint, and printed works. Siende Bean receives a subject prize for Combined Science 2. Lexus Brights, the subject prize for Dance and Sports. Ariana Brown, the subject prize for Physical Education 2. Satia Burchell receives a subject prize for Physics 2. Malik Clark is a Student Council S3 representative. Raina DeFonts, she's the High Honor student and receives a subject prize for AP Calculus AB2. Egypt Can receives subject prizes for Ballet, Modern, Tap, and Jazz 1, Dance and Society, and GCSE Physical Education 1. Malik Clark Carla De Leon receives the subject prize for Computer Science 1, English as a Second Language 2. Taikipa Gibbons receives a subject prize for Video Arts. Andreas Glasgow is a Student Council S3 representative. He is a newly installed peer mediator. He receives subject prizes for Insurance, Virtual Enterprises International 1. Seth Hartman is a High Honor student, also a peer mediator. He received subject prizes for Mathematics 2 and Spanish 2 GCSE. Sharon Hunt is a peer mediator. Chardonnay Johnson is a peer mediator. Micah Lambert, he's a High Honor student and receives subject prizes for BASD, Adaptive Physical Education 2, and Functional Skills 1. Sonora Marshall is a High Honor student and receives subject prize for Choir 2. Isaiah McCaskey. Dakota McDonald receives subject prize for Discovering Food and Nutrition. Maya Peets receives a subject prize for percussion class. Hadas Philpott is a peer mediator. Shane Richards receives a subject prize for Adaptive Carpentry 3. Gabrielle Romain is a high honor student who receives subject prizes for first aid, CPR, and integrated math. Amon Simons receives a subject prize for physical education 2. Shia Smith receives a subject prize for GCSE Physical Education 1. Josiah Smith Robinson receives subject prizes for BASD English 2 and BASD Science 2. Tatiana Swainson receives subject prizes for French 2 and World Dance Forms. Daria Simons, a Principal's Honor student who is the Student Council S3 representative. She receives subject prizes for English 2, French 2, GCSE, and GCSE Geography 2. Shania Wedderburn receives subject prize for Business and Economics 2. Santi Wilson is a peer mediator. Keishan Zul receives subject prizes for American Sign Language 1 and BASD Mathematics 2. Let's give a final round of applause for the S2 prize recipients. S3 prize recipients, please stand. Itreyu Adonai is a high honor student and a prefect and receives subject prize for presentation tools. Sanjaya Orwood is a high honor student, deputy head girl, prefect, and receives subject prizes for Communications for Industry 1, Communications for Industry 2, and Introduction to Business Applications, all at the Bermuda College. Ilani Ascendido is prefect. Journey Aviles, high honor student, a prefect, and receives the subject prize for Spanish 4. Rihanna Bassett, prefect. Isaiah Blankendahl receives the subject prize for City and Guilds Mathematics Stage 2. Seema Burton, prefect and the Student Council Public Relations Officer. She receives a subject prize for Exploring Family Living. Taij Butler Walker, prefect. Gabriella Camara, prefect. She's also the Girl House captain. She receives subject prizes for Ballet Modern Tap and Jazz 2 and Popular and Social Dance. Mary Carrion, prefect. She's also the Student Council Secretary and receives subject prize for Mathematics Application 1. Jalea Cheeseman is a high honor student, a prefect, and receives subject prizes for AP English Language 1 and Writers Workshop. Victoria Clemens is a prefect. She's Gold House Vice Captain. And she received subject prizes for journalism and publications and photography. Samuel Darrow is a prefect. Daisha Davis is a prefect. Haley Davis is a prefect. Joshua Duncan is a prefect and Gold House Vice Captain. Andawa Ford, prefect. Michaela Franco, prefect, and receives a subject prize for technical mathematics at the Bermuda College. Jaden Furbert Jacobs. Jaden is a principal's honor student, Berkeley's head boy, he's a prefect, he's greenhouse captain. He is a Student Council S4 representative and receives subject prizes for Accounting 1, Bermuda College, Business Calculus, College Algebra 1, Freshman Composition, Introduction to Business Applications, and Pre-Calculus, all at the Bermuda College. Stefania Georgi is a prefect. She receives subject prizes for AP Calculus AB1, Choir 3, and English as a Second Language 3. Gianna Griffith is a prefect. Chen Harrison. Okay. Micah Henschke is a prefect. Christopher Jackson is a high honor student. He's a deputy head boy, he's a prefect, and receiving subject prizes for Beginner Spanish 1, Beginner Spanish 2, Introduction to Business Applications, all at the Bermuda College. Anushka Jayatunga is Deputy Head Girl, Prefect, and Gold House Vice Captain. Rania Jones is Prefect. Anijay Kisi Ming is a Principal's Honor student and receiving subject prizes for Communications for Industry 2, Customer Service Skills, Introduction to Lodging Management, Introduction to the Hospitality Industry, Nutrition, Sanitation and Safety, all at the Bermuda College. Aaliyah Lee is a prefect and the Student Council S4 representative. She receives a subject prize for AP Biology 1. Zakiah Lee is a prefect and greenhouse vice captain. Chloe Marsh is a prefect. Shakai Mason is prefect and receiving subject prize for music technology. Kamala Nasir is a prefect and receiving subject prize for GCSE Art and Design 1. Nabila Nasir is a prefect, greenhouse vice captain, and is receiving a subject prize for AP Chemistry 1 at Physical Education 3. Erica Otterbridge, prefect. Ryan Otterbridge, prefect, and receiving subject prize for Intro to Materials and Mechanics at the Bermuda College. Kion Parfit is a prefect. Samaria Painter is a principal's honor student, a prefect, and receiving subject prizes for Accounting 2, College Algebra 1, Finite Mathematics, Introduction to Business Applications, Organizational Behavior, Personal Finance, Principles of Microeconomics, all at the Bermuda College. Nina Pickering is a prefect. Max Punt is a prefect. Michael Richardson is a prefect, a student council S4 representative, and he's receiving a subject prize for Environmental Science 1. Kiana Robinson is a prefect. Malay Robinson. Malay is the head girl, a prefect, and vice president of the student council, and receiving a subject prize for play production. Keziah Seeley. Keziah Seeley is a prefect, greenhouse captain, Janelle Simmons is a principal's honor student, a prefect, and is receiving the subject prize for Accounts 1. Jasmine Simons. Jasmine is a prefect and is greenhouse vice captain. Janai Smith is a prefect and receiving a subject prize for Theater in Society. Justice Smith is a prefect. Kevin Sunger is receiving subject prize for Technical Mathematics and Technical Science 2 at the Bermuda College. Nature Simons is a prefect. Noel Taylor is a prefect and receiving subject prize for AP French 1. Nazari Thomas is receiving subject prizes for Introduction to Business, Introduction to Business Applications at the Bermuda College. Robert Thomas Robert is a deputy head boy, prefect, Gold House captain, and president of the student council. Isaiah Tucker is a prefect. Bianca Veloso is receiving a subject prize for French 3. Vibin Vijayakumar is a prefect. Zanae Wade is a principal's honor student. She's a prefect. She's receiving subject prizes for College Algebra 1, Introduction to Business Applications, Pre-Calculus, Principles of Biology 1, Principles of Biology 2, all at the Bermuda College. Destiny Warner is a principal's honor student, a prefect, the treasurer of the student council, and is receiving a subject prize for Acting 1. Shamari Watts is a prefect and is receiving a subject prize for Marine Science 1. Kaishe Zul is receiving subject prizes for BASD English 3, BASD Mathematics 3, BASD Preparation for Working Life. And let's congratulate our S3 prize recipients and all of our recipients this evening. And now for our special cups and awards. For the most outstanding student in S1, Callan Richardson. In S2, Daria Simons. And S3, Jaden Ferbert Jacobs. The Zeta Renee Matthew Memorial Plaque for Mathematics goes to S3 student Kayante Young. The IGCSE Mathematics Award goes to Ruth Malocan, S1. Ethan Figueredo in S1 and Callan Richardson, S1. All of those students received a B in their IGCSE mathematics exam. In S2, Seth Hartman also received a B. For the City and Guilds Mathematics Award, the S3, Kevon Douglas. He achieved a distinction in the Mathematics Stage 2. the IGCSE English Language Award. For S1, Owen Figueredo with an A star. In S2, Andrew Cheeseman and Ori Wilson received A's, Zaire Vella received a B. In S3, Jaden Ferber Jacobs received a B. For the GCSE English Literature Award, it has 2. Chastity Armstrong and Shania Wedderburn both received 6. Andrew Cheeseman's mom is picking up his A in English certificate. He's a Bermuda College student, so he's studying for his final exam. For the City and Guilds English Award in S2, Nadre Agnarton Tuzo and Mark Oliver Phillip both received distinctions in English Stage 3. The Senior Year Music Award goes to S3 student Taij Butler Walker. The NCCER Award for S3 goes to Delia Sumner. The IGCSE Coordinated Science Award for S1, Ethan Figueredo, who received a BB. Family members want to come and collect?
You want to come and get it, or mommy?
In S2, Seth Hartman and Ori Wilson both received BB. For IGCSE Combined Science, for S2, Sharon Hunt. GCSE French. S2, Sarah Costa and Daria Simons received 7s. Alicia Sheed received 8. GCSE Spanish, S2, Carla De Leon received 8, Seth Hartman received 7. For S3, Mariana Amaral Furtado received a 7. Stefania George, Chelsea Haley, Aaliyah Lee, and Kamala Nasir all received 6. For the English AQA Level 1 exam, S3, Kaishe Zul. And for the Mathematics AQA Level 1 exam, Yona Wilkinson. The Dr. Clifford Maxwell Award for Excellence in Mathematics. Dr. Clifford Maxwell became Mathematics Master of the Berkeley Institute in 1968. As he progressed through the ranks as Deputy Principal and then Principal from 1972 to 1991, he retained his passion for the subject and continued to teach and tutor students. The Clifford Maxwell Award recognizes the senior student who excels in advanced level mathematics courses and who demonstrates the passion and flair for the subject that Dr. Maxwell held so dear. The third recipient of this award is, for S3, Jaden Furbert Jacobs. The Citizenship Award is donated by Joshua Richardson and is awarded to a student who participates in school and/or community service, shows a positive attitude toward classmates, school, and community, displays an understanding and appreciation of civic responsibility, possesses strength of character and the courage to do what is right, promotes citizenship with their school or community through other activities. The S1 recipients are John White and Anaya Miners. For S2, the award goes to Ori Wilson and Daria Simons. And for S3, the award goes to Micah Richardson and Mary Carrion. The Faculty Award for Outstanding Contributions to the Classroom. The S1 award goes to A.J. Smith and Nasir Burgess. The S2 award goes to Ethan Figueredo and Raina DeFonts. And the S3 award goes to Noel Taylor and Shanlada Setang. The School Spirit Award goes to an individual who enthusiastically and positively demonstrates and participates in promoting school spirit, attends, participates, and is involved in various extracurricular and school-wide events, and honors our code of conduct through his or her actions. The S1 award goes to Kazai Seeley and Jazari Tolbert. The S2 award goes to Andreas Glasgow and Daria Simons. And the S3 award goes to Robert Thomas and Jasmine Simons. The award for deportment is awarded to a student who is polite, helpful, friendly, and immaculately dressed in school uniform. The S1 award goes to Kamaja Easton Smith and Nasia Burgess. The S2 award goes to Seth Hartman and Gabrielle Romain. And the S3 award goes to Robert Thomas and Nabila Nasir. The award for personal achievement. The S1 award goes to Jalen Jones. For S2, for S2, Kevon Douglas and Dakota McDonald. And the award for personal achievement for S3, Quindal Can. The award for leadership in S1, A.J. Smith and Leilani Trott. S2, Andreas Glasgow and Daria Simons. And S3, Robert Thomas and Malay Robinson. The award for marked improvement is awarded to a student who has made a significant personal improvement in his or her academic school record and or showed excellent progress in his or her social behavior, that is, cooperation with teachers and students, completion of homework, general attitude. And the S1 award goes to Zayante Gibbons Outerbridge and Asa Diop Williams. The S2 award goes to Shane Richards and Coriah Simmons. And the S3 award goes to Max Pont and Destiny Warner. The Grace Joe Memorial Trophy for Deportment is presented to the S1 female student who has represented herself well both in deportment and in her interactions within the school community. She epitomizes the ideal Berkeley Institute female student, is poised, courteous, helpful, and a true ambassador of the school. This award goes to Nasir Burgess. And finally, the Dr. Earl Seaton Memorial Award, presented to a gentleman and a scholar. This award is presented to the S1 male student who most demonstrates the characteristics of a gentleman and a scholar. This award goes to Kamaje Easton Smith. That brings us to the end of our distribution of prizes and special awards. Please give a round of applause to all of our prize recipients. Janelle Simmons will now move the vote of thanks.
Good evening. On behalf of the Berkeley Institute faculty and students, it gives me great pleasure to present this vote of thanks for our prize-giving ceremony. First, I would like to give a special thank you to the prize-giving committee for all of the hard work done in preparation for this event. Would the committee members please stand? we thank you. Additionally, I would like to direct a special thanks to our administrative assistants, Ms. Patty Woolridge and Mrs. Renee Wilson, for their hard work in coordinating this year's prize-giving activities. The Berkeley Institute Steel Pan Orchestra and School Choir for the performances this evening. Mr. John Woolridge and Mr. Troy Washington for all their time and efforts with our performers this evening. Principal's Honor Student Jaden Ferber Jacobs for his inspiring remarks. Mr. David Butterfield and the facilities team for the cafetorium setup. Ms. Enid Christopher, thank you for your work on assembling the prize-giving program. Ms. Ingrid Applewhite, Mrs. Cooper Ferguson, and Ms. Jennifer Phipps for all of their efforts preparing the student participants. Ms. Tanisha Dill for designing the cover for the prize-giving program and rehearsing with the students for this evening. Mr. Mike Lee, Jada Richards, and Tiaja Bean from the tech booth. To the award winners and parents for being a wonderful audience this evening. Finally, I extend a special thank you to the Honorable Mark Bean for being our guest speaker for this evening's function. Thank you for your inspiration and serving as a role model to us, the current Berkeleyites. The torch has been passed and we accept it triumphantly. We will now sing the school song, which can be found at the back of your programs. Please stand.
very much, everyone. It's been a wonderful evening of celebrating the extraordinary abilities and accomplishments and the admirable qualities of our multi-talented students who are preparing to embrace the future with all of its extraordinary possibilities. Thank you all for coming. Safe journeys home and have a pleasant evening. If you can please allow our students and our podium class